Hey guys, so I decided to come on here and tell about my pregnancy, about my 27 week, 28 week, and 29 weeks, because I think it's a great way to just document how things have been going. And I always find myself wanting to compare to other people, and I've watched videos and found that my symptoms aren't comparing to other people's symptoms, and there's so many symptoms you can have, just so many, because this is my second, and my first is very different. My first pregnancy is very different than my second pregnancy, so firsthand I know how different pregnancies can be. So if you hear my AC's on, so I'm sorry if that's very loud, but I just want to be able to look back on these also, and I want to document my postpartum, so hopefully this helps people. I wish I started earlier, honestly, but I am currently 29 weeks, and I'm in the middle of my 29 weeks, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. And I wrote down a list of symptoms and things I'm going through, because I have a lot of friends. I'm at the age, I guess, where a lot of friends are either getting engaged or having their first kid. And I think it'd be great if they had someone they knew or around their age that they can compare to. And also, our family has a lot of pregnancies right now. It's crazy because on my husband's side, his cousins, I'm due December. He has one due January, another due February, and another one in March. And two of them is their first pregnancy. So I just remember my first pregnancy being full of questions, so I can't imagine other people. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I hope people enjoy this, and I hope you can relate in some way. I know that it's super hard to fully relate one pregnancy to another, but hopefully something I'm going through you can relate to, or what my advice can help. So first is I'm out of breath all the time. So 27 weeks, the first symptom was I'm out of breath, always out of breath. And walking up the stairs, my husband's like, "Are you really out of breath?" Yes, because it's hard. Heartburn around 27 weeks. I never get heartburn in, I want to say real life, but non-pregnancy life I never get heartburn. But for some reason I've been getting it, so something I've done is not eat 2 hours before I go to bed, which sometimes can be hard, especially when you're having a craving or you want something sweet, but making something small. Also having water by my bed, or water, I say water, sorry. I always have one of these big cups by me. That's something that's been really different from this pregnancy compared to the last pregnancy. I was 19 and not good about drinking water, and I had a lot of dizziness and blackouts last pregnancy. And this pregnancy, knock on wood, I haven't had any, but I've also, it's over 8 years later, so I've matured in a different way, and I know how to properly take care of myself, and water is key. Let's see, sharp pains, yeah. I'll stand up. It takes me a minute to get moving, or I have sharp lower pains. Not really Braxton Hicks, but no, it's not Braxton Hicks. It's more just I moved wrong, or I did something wrong, or if I move a certain way, Presley, I'm having a girl and her name is going to be Presley, she hits me the wrong way or something. So that's a common thing. I don't ever really freak out about it, but I have had sharp pains around 27 weeks. 27 weeks back pain. So I have sciatic nerve problems, and I got it after my first pregnancy. The way I know that it's sciatic is because my whole right side goes numb, and it's a sharp pain and then a gnawing numbness. And that started coming back heavy at 27 weeks. And how I have helped that is I've iced every night. I've taken Epsom salt baths, which is one of my advice things, is take Epsom salt baths to help with any inflammation, and it feels great. Also, I have been stretching more. So I play tennis, and one of the things I'm used to is jumping on a tennis court and not having to warm up or really stretch. And now that I'm further along in my pregnancy, I'm having to properly stretch and slowly warm up and get my body moving. So that's been a change. That's something I've had to do. This is gonna get so serious. I'm so sorry. So if a guy's watching, I don't know if you want to watch, but my husband has to hear it, so it's something you can look forward to. My vaginal area feels so swollen, and sometimes I can see like swelling, almost like pressure, so it must be the way that I'm carrying Presley or the way she is laying low. I did not have that with my first, and I did ask my doctor about it, and she said every pregnancy it gets worse. So yay, there's that. So that's completely normal, and that's something I don't really hear people talk about, but I wouldn't say, I have heard people say that, how do they put it? It's pressure. I don't feel it as pressure. I feel it as like sore, because I mostly feel it at the end of a day, like a long day. Almost like it's a sore, swollen feeling is how I get it. Yeah, that's how I describe it. A sore, swollen kind of feeling. And so it's completely normal if you're going through that. And she said also, my doctor said, also depends on how the baby is laying. So that makes a difference too. I'm carrying very low. 27 weeks, I started having visible movements outside the belly, so that was super exciting. Although you have to catch them at the right moment. So that is super exciting to get at 27 weeks. Again, that could be different for everybody. This is my second pregnancy, so everything has come faster. I have noticed that everything, the weight, the swelling, the pains, all of that have come faster. At 27 weeks, I got the Tdap shot, which is a whooping cough shot and a tetanus shot, which I didn't get with my first pregnancy, so that was very confusing. But I guess it's something that can help with the baby now. Like they get some of the medicine or prevention or whatever now in your stomach, as opposed to getting the shot after. So that's a good thing. I got it, had no problems, and it's been fine. So 27-week advice would be get yourself a prenatal massage. Like, start taking care of yourself and pampering yourself, because you are going to need it. Like, you are definitely going to need it. Hit up consignment shops. So this is like a really big advice thing I can tell new moms or moms in general. If you've been a mom, you completely know that things like the waterproof sheets that go in cribs, people don't want to buy. It's not fun to buy. It's something you might register for or might not even think of registering for, but you do need it and you will want it, and it's easier just to go to a consignment shop and get it yourself, because it's gonna be like $3. Super cheap, super easy, and it's something people don't like buying, so they're not necessarily gonna get it for you. Also, I have been hitting up consignment shops for clothing. So I have bought nothing newborn, and maybe like one thing, but like really nothing newborn, because I have found that's what people like to buy. So with my son Aiden, when I had him, it was everyone bought me newborn, and then I was like, oh my goodness, he's past newborn, what do I do? I had nothing. So I bought 3 months and beyond, all the way up to a year. Not a lot, just a couple things here and there that I found that I really like, and mostly at consignment stores I look for things that look handmade, because that's my preference. Another advice is if you're registering, so if you're earlier, probably at 27 weeks you've registered by now, but if you haven't hit that yet, babylist.com is a great place. That is where I registered, and you can add multiple registries to that, and I have it on my phone as well, so that I can just, which I don't know where my phone is, but I can just add stuff as I see it, like on Etsy, on Facebook. I follow the link, I can just add to my baby list, which I love. I also have an app called Pregnancy Pounds, and what that does is that monitors your weight and telling you if you're above where you should be or below where you should be. So it's really helped keep me aware and on track of if I'm gaining too much weight, because that is very easy to do. With my first, I gained 60 pounds. Do not want to do that again. I never lost it completely. So this time around, I started at 133, and I am currently at 29 weeks. I am currently at 154, so that's 21 pounds, which seems to be right on track when I do it in that Pregnancy Pounds app, and it tells you, and I think that's great. And it does it by trimester. It also tells you where your goal is for the end of that trimester. So I love that, and it gives you about a 5-pound range, I think, or something like that. So if you are trying to be cautious or you're not sure where you stand, that is a great app to have. I also have the Ovia Pregnancy, and I don't necessarily use it as much. My son loves it because he likes to see the baby size and if we're a pineapple or whatever we are right now. And I have used it a couple of times for like symptoms. I see a lot of my symptoms are lining up there, but I haven't really used the recipes and all that stuff. I'm not an over worrier. I don't overread. I don't over like type in all of my symptoms and try and figure out what's going on. I don't worry too much. I guess that's a good thing, or it could be a really bad thing. But I found that if I do have a problem, usually that app can tell me what's going on, but it also tells you the weight of your baby. I think that's pretty cool. And then products. So some products I have, again, the consignment stuff, that's just what I've been buying right now for Presley. I did start getting nursery stuff. I didn't register for nursery like bedding or anything because I knew I had something specific in mind, and honestly I couldn't find it online. So I've been looking for something at a consignment store or here and there, and I just picked up pieces. Okay, 28 weeks. This was a big one. So 28 weeks, my symptoms are swollen feet. We went to Dollywood in Tennessee. So I'm here in Georgia and we went to Tennessee, not a long trip at all, 4 hours. And Dollywood, we walked about 6 miles that day. We were there for hours. I mean, it felt like 6 miles. I have no clue, but it was like 6 hours there. And my feet and ankles blew up, and they were huge, just huge. So they were like that the whole weekend we were there. Watch your salt intake when that happens, I guess. But I usually ice and I usually rest more and elevate my feet more, and I wasn't doing that because we were on vacation, and it was go, 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 go. So they got swollen really quickly and really easily. So if that happens, ice, Epsom salt bath, and elevate. At 28 weeks, my back pain completely left. So again, what I did was ice every single night. I iced my back. I stretched more. So that's some advice. I stretched more. I stretched every single day. I warmed up longer. And I really was cautious of how I was handling my body. So my back pain has not come back, thank goodness, because if you've ever had that, it's one of the worst pains. 28 weeks, lots of movement, lots and lots and lots and lots of movement. And it's more exciting because before, my husband would put his hand there, be like, ooh, she's moving, feel this, and then she would stop, of course. So now it's, if he's just patient enough, she will move for him, and she has big movements, and it's so exciting. And he can also see her on the outside movement now too, which is very exciting. 28 week stretch marks. So I told you I gained 60 pounds in my first pregnancy. I also gained with that a lot of stretch marks. Inner thighs, my stomach, my sides. I was 19 and I really didn't take care of myself like I should have. I just kind of let things go. And I had lots of stretch marks. So right now, as my stomach grows, it's kind of hard to tell what is previous stretch marks and what's new stretch marks, None of them are purple, but because my stomach is stretching, I'm seeing them in new areas that I didn't see them before. But I do have one purple stretch mark really low, and so I know that's a new one. And it's lower than what I would think of having it, so it won't be seen later. It's that low, it won't be seen. And I've put on lotion twice a day. So sometimes it just happens, and I'm just trying to keep the lotion up, and I use organic body butter stuff, and I really try and do its best, but sometimes it's inevitable, and like I said, it's really hard to tell since I already have previous ones. Sensitive gums, I've noticed that at 28 weeks I started getting really sensitive gums when I brushed. I went to a soft brush and it seemed to get worse, so I might go back to a harder brush. By soft brush I mean like they have like these soft bristle brushes, and I tried that. So I might go back to my previous toothbrush. But yeah, very, very sensitive gums. Not bleeding every time, but just sensitive. So weight gain at 28 weeks. I feel like the 27, 28 weeks I like jumped in weight, and it's very scary for me because on that Pregnancy Pound app I went above and I was like, ooh, I need to watch. But I give in. I hate to say I have no self-will. I do have self-will, but I do give in a lot, so I've tried to watch my portions and be very cautious of what I'm doing. But yeah, the weight's inevitable, and the more weight I get, the more symptoms come, and that's also normal too. But I am noticing that maybe I need to work out a little more and do something daily, which I wasn't doing, and they recommend 30 minutes a day. So I was doing tennis, and that is probably 3 to 4 days a week that I do, and that's pretty good, but sometimes it's not always. Like, it rained a lot during my 27, 28 weeks, so I didn't get as much workouts in. So I need to start doing something at home, and if this goes well and people want to see what I'm doing at home, I'm happy to share. Pregnancy brain at 28 weeks, and I was texting one of my friends, and she was telling me we have missed our coffee date twice. Pregnancy brain for both of us. So my biggest thing was I put a pencil in the dishwasher. No clue. That's something I do. Like, I'm putting things randomly. I'm surprised I have not locked myself out of the car yet. And I completely forgot to pack for the trip to Tennessee we did. I was stressing all day. I made dinner, I sat down, and I was like, I don't know why I was stressing. No big deal. And at about 10 o'clock that night, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to pack. So definitely pregnancy brain. So lists, make a lot of lists and to-do lists daily, and this way you're not forgetting things, or alerts on your phone. Movement's mostly on my right side. So she's right side dominant right now. Like, everything seems to be on the right side. So I've noticed that a lot. I don't know exactly what that is, but if you're having one side more dominant, don't freak out, because I am too. Advice for 28 weeks. Keep moving. That's the best advice I can give. I completely stopped moving and exercising in my first pregnancy, hence the 60 pounds. And just keep moving. So I'm trying to move more. My mom and I are walking on top of tennis, and find something you enjoy and do it, or you and your husband go for a walk. We've done that a couple times too, which is nice because we get to talk. 28 weeks I had to buy bigger size maternity stuff. So I wasn't extra small shorts, and I love Target's maternity stuff. Their stuff is amazing. But I noticed at 28 weeks, like, my husband started making fun of my pajamas fitting funny because my belly would show because my shirt would come up too high. I haven't found good maternity pajamas. So motherhoods, they were expensive. I don't really want to spend that. So what I did was I did Target and I just bought larges. And they're really baggy, but they're super comfortable, and there's something that I can use after. So that's great. But yes, I did bump up from a small to medium in certain things, or from extra small to small in certain things. So I did have to bump up, which, I mean, it happens. Everything seems to get a little bigger. Advice. Okay, so my son Aiden is 8 years old, and I've noticed he's had a little trouble. Excuse me. He has had a little trouble with realizing that his time is going to be split, and he's not going to get all the attention that he had before. So one thing I did sit down and explain to him was that he got all this time with mommy that Presley won't get. He got 8 years by himself with mommy that Presley won't get, and Presley's always gonna have to share her time. So if you have a sibling and they're a little older, and even if they're like 5 or 4, they could be feeling these things, and just that's what helped him, explaining that he got special time that Presley won't get. So that was something that worked for us, and it might not work for you, but it's always worth a try, and it's a way of explaining at his level. So products I said I'm loving is the Target shorts, the Target pajamas. Target is just great, and I know I'm gonna wear Target stuff after, all the maternity stuff after, especially the yoga pants. So the yoga pants, I have them on now, so when I show my belly I'll show you the pants, but they come low in a V in the back and high in the front. I really like that because when the band comes high in the back, it rolls or gets stuck and it looks funny and it feels funny. So having it low, I really, really, really like that. So Target does have that. 29 weeks, okay. So current week of what we're at right now in my symptoms. Tired. Very tired. And I'm grateful my husband let me sleep in yesterday. Because I was exhausted, and like I said, I was very swollen in my legs, so like that extra hour and a half of sleep really brought my ankles and feet down to normal size. But yeah, so just try and sleep when you can, or go to bed earlier. I know it's hard, it's very hard, but I'm extremely tired. I could go to bed at 6 every single day. Nesting, I'm nesting. At least I think. I feel like I am. I started getting on cleaning kicks and just making cleaning easier. So something I've done is, I am not the best housekeeper. I am the first to admit I am not the best housekeeper. I hate cleaning. I really do. But I want us to create better habits, like taking our shoes off before we come inside, just because I want to get ready for Presley. I've also put cleaning products in every single bathroom. Instead of, I used to like carry around like a little cart and bring it upstairs and do every bathroom, but I found that I was lazy, so I have the organic wipes by the bathroom just to wipe down the seat real quick after it's used. And that's something I can show my son to do, so he can help, and then my husband can help, and I just made it easier. I know it might be a waste of money to do that, but for me, it was easier, and it's something that I think will benefit us. So also, I've been trying to get her nursery ready. It is not ready. It is not even close to ready. But I do want to get her nursery ready, so like I've been in the process of that. We had to change 3 rooms around to get the nursery in the room we wanted, because we had the playroom in there. So yeah, so I started that, and I started feeling that, okay, we need to get things done. I'm ready for my baby showers. Like, I'm ready for everything to start moving. So that has been this week how I felt. Also this week, high pushes. So I am bigger chested, and I kind of rest on my belly. And I've noticed that is uncomfortable to lean over. I'm getting really high pushes now, which I didn't really have before, where I can feel her in a certain high point. And before it was only low movements, and now there's high movements. So that has changed. It's hard to bend over, so I have to do like that wide squat. But yeah, so high pushes, where I have to like lean back and give myself a breath and kind of catch that pressure point to release. Does that make sense? I like pinches sometimes. I live in the bathroom, and not in like a bad way. That sounds really bad. No, this is how I explained it to my husband last night. I take a sip of water and then I pee Niagara Falls. Like, that's how it feels. I don't know where all the pee is coming from, especially in the middle of the night, because I just take a sip of water and then I'm up 2 hours later peeing again. Welcome to third trimester. That's all I can say about that. I know where every bathroom and exit is in the stores. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I pee a lot. Okay, so 29 weeks, my weight gain has been very steady. When we went on that Dollywood trip, I gained 2 pounds, but I told you how swollen I was, so I think a lot of it was water weight, because I dropped back down. So I don't think I lost weight, I think I just stayed steady and kind of the swelling went down. So that's kind of what's been going on. I feel great. I don't think I should feel great because I'm getting further along, but I feel great. So, but I have been exercising more, and I've been more cautious. I've done like protein shakes in the morning. I started that because I have been craving carbs, and this whole pregnancy, like with my son, it was French toast and pizza, like 2 things I really wanted all the time. This whole pregnancy has been everything. I've kind of wanted everything sounds good and someone has it, I want it. So portions have been a huge thing with me, and then I just done the protein shakes in the morning, and they're really filling, and my mornings are slow, so having the carbs in the mornings that's where the trouble was for me. I would get what was easy. Well, protein shakes easy for me to make, and it's filling, so it'll get me to like my snack time. And on top of that, like, I would love to be that person who gets up and makes eggs in the morning, but I'm not. I hate mornings. I hate cleaning and I hate mornings. It's good, right? Well, protein shakes are easy for me, so I've been doing that with some fruit and almond milk. So I have been icing daily, like I said, and stretching daily. So that's my advice. Don't buy newborn stuff. I did say that because everybody buys you newborn stuff. Baths. I have to be very cautious. I have kidney problems, so I have to be very cautious of taking too many baths. And I would recommend them if you could. I would do it every single night if I could. I can't. That's just my body. And then just like I said before, creating new habits. So if you're this far along in your pregnancy and you know you want, when the baby comes, things to go a certain way, I would recommend start getting those habits set up now. In our garage, I put a shoe thing because I don't want my husband bringing in his shoes. And someone was like, well, baby's gonna get germs, like, it's a thing that happens. No, trust me, I get that germs can be great. Like, everyone has different opinions about that. But for me, like, all I can think about, I watched a video and all I can think about is I walk in the restroom with my shoes and then I walk in my house. So that really irked me. So taking off shoes is a huge habit I want to start from the beginning. So my family, I put something out in the garage to make it easier. So we are taking out our shoes, taking them off before we come in the house. So any habits you know you want this to happen before the baby comes, I would recommend start setting them in place, because when that baby comes, everything's going to change. Product. Sorry, I ran out of battery and had to switch. So, I just talked about creating the habits now, because when the baby comes, everything's going to change. Products that I am loving right now, my body pillow. I have had my body pillow from, I want to say I was like 6 weeks. Again, second pregnancy, everything happens early. So I got that body pillow early. A lot of my sleeping problems happened early. Needing a pillow between my leg, needing a pillow behind my back. So my husband bought me a body pillow. I took that on vacation with me. I mean, that thing does not leave my side. And for good reasons, because it is a lifesaver. I love the body pillow. So if you haven't gotten one, treat yourself, get you one. I got mine on Amazon. I think it was $30. Nothing fancy. Another thing, and let me see if I can grab it really quick, is a sibling baby book. So give me 1 second. Okay. So we got a sibling baby book, and I'll hold it up. So I love this because my son is older, and even if your son's not older, it's a do it with them kind of book. But again, I said he could feel left out, and I've noticed he was acting up in the very beginning when we told him we were pregnant, trying to sleep by our door, sleeping on the floor, scared to sleep in his room. And I think it was him realizing his time was about to be stolen, and he was trying to hold on to us so tightly. It has gotten so much better since then. We've done a lot of talks, and a lot of it is talking. Talk with them, be open with them, ask them if they have any questions, because just because they're not saying it doesn't mean they don't. But I got him, so I went to the store with him, and I got my baby book, and I've been filling that out. And I also found a sibling book, which is Baby's First Year According to Me, the big sibling book. And he wrote his name in it. Let's see if I can show you some stuff. He drew a picture of what he looks like. Says, "This is me." It's the big news. What are you having? A baby sister, baby brother. His feelings. It has you check your feelings. When I found out about all this, I was quiet, and then check all that apply. So he checked happy, excited, worried, and curious. And I read the words to him because some are hard, like curious, confused. And we talked about it, and he checked what he felt. And then that's a good way for you to know, okay, why are you curious, or what are you curious about? What are you worried about? Because he did check worried. And then we talked about that, so I thought that was great. And then this is, thanks for asking what I have accomplished around here so far. And like, he has checked what he has accomplished. Let's see if it focuses. And like, I dress myself, I can use Mom's cell phone, I can count to, he said 1,000, he can probably count more than 1,000. He has lost 9 teeth. Like, it was about him and what he has accomplished before the baby got here. So I think that's super cool. And then he did a drawing, and that's our dog. And it has a date, he drew it. So it's a good way to like involve siblings, and I thought this was so cool. I had never seen it before. And so when I sit down and do my book, he sits down and does his, and we do it together because there are some things that he would need help with. So I think it's a great thing. It's something that he can give Presley later, but it also involves him now because all he wants to do is be involved. The sweetest thing my son does, and he did this when we got married, because we got married this past October 2016, and he kept saying it was our wedding because we were planning it and I was involving him. He kept saying our wedding, and now it's our baby. And I think that is super cute and super sweet. So I know my son just wants to be involved. So that is something that I found that's great. And it is by Amy Krause Rosenthal. I think that's how you say that. If you are wanting to get it, I think it's great. So if you're wanting to do something like that, this is awesome. Alright guys, that's all I have. I hope this helped people, and I hope I was able to relate with someone in some way. And if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer. I'm an open book. I always have been. And I think I'm going to continue doing this, so I'll do a 30-week one and go over my symptoms, advice, and products and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and show my belly, and then I will see you next time.